Angular Lesson 2. Hey everyone, and welcome in the next episode. Today we are going to continue with our Angular course. And if you remember, last week we did login form UI and we set up the project. If you didn't do it with me, you can check this video and follow those steps. And today we are going to create login form logic. So let's go to the computer. So let's start lesson 2 and we will start from running projects from lesson 1. If you don't have it yet, check out our GitHub and you can get the code there, or you can check out the previous video and write it from scratch with us. So let's open it and run with ngserve. It might take a second. Cool. Let's see if it works. It looks like it works. So we can open the code, and today we are going to start from handling inputs and validation. So let's open login folder and let's go to login component TS. And we will start from creating two values: username, which will be type string, and we will assign it to an empty string, and the same will be with the password. And right now we can start creating a function which will get event values and assign them to those two values, username and password. So our function will have event and type as parameters, and if type will be username, then we want to update username. And if type will be password, then we will update password. Okay, great. And now we would like to validate username. Because as my friend showed you in one of the videos before in SQL injection, I will put the link, it's possible to pass some weird values like SQL code into the input and hack it. So we would like to prevent it. That's why we will allow only letters and numbers to be passed as a username. Let's create is username valid value, and let's create a function, validate username. We will use regex pattern and we will check if our username passes the pattern test. So if pattern test this username, then we will return is username valid as true, and if it doesn't, then it will be false. And we are going to call this validate username function inside onKey in the user update. Cool. So now it's time to go to our template and add those values to actual inputs. So let's find username input and let's add onKey up. Oh, key up actually, not onKey up. And we want to pass event and username as parameters. And now let's go to the password and let's do the same, but our second parameter will be password here. And the next thing that we would like to do here is adding one ngIf to this error message, and if is username valid won't be true, then we want to show it, and in other cases it will be hidden. Okay, let's check if our validation works. That we can do right now. Errors are fine, but when we will add some special value, then it won't be so easy to hack. Okay, let's continue. Now we are going to create a login service and we are going to create an API call. I hope you are doing backend as well with my friend who is showing you how to create backend in Golang. I will place a card right here so you can check out if you don't yet. So let's generate a service. Okay, let's see. It's here. We will start from importing all necessary packages. So we will start from HTTP client and HTTP headers from Angular Common HTTP. And the other package we want to import is behavior subject. Oh, here's actually one letter too much. It should be behavior without this U. So you can correct it already. And now let's create a constant with HTTP options, which we will use in our API call. We would like to set our headers, and we want to allow data from different sources, like we would like to prevent CORS. And now let's create a URL. I will put my backend URL, or actually my URL from the proxy we did some time ago in the previous lesson. So you can do as well if you have your backend on localhost port 8888, as you remember. And now let's go to constructor and let's assign HTTP client to our private variable HTTP. And we can start with login function. Our login function will have two parameters, username and password, both a string. And we are going to use this HTTP post. And let's start from URL. There's a typo as well, and both are the same, so it should work. And HTTP options at the end. Now let's use promise, and when it's ready, let's take the response and if our response has a JVT, we want to add it to our session storage. So let's use session storage, set item, JVT, response JVT. Okay. But it might happen that we will receive an error, so we would like to use this behavior subject because we want to check if backend doesn't return us error. So the first value of this behavior subject will be null because we always have to pass some value there. And let's create error message as observable. And now let's use it inside our login function. So if JVT is there, then our error message will be null. So we are going to use next method for our error subject and we will pass null. But if our response has message, then we want to update our error message with next method, but we want to pass this error message from the response. Cool. So now we need one more thing. We need a router from Angular router because we would like to redirect when login is correct. So let's use it in the constructor. And here we will use this router navigate by URL and we will send people to dashboard after login. Cool. Let's go to login component and let's finish this login process. So let's use here login service. And we will create on submit function, which will be called when we click sign in button. And here we will use this login service, but first we want to check if our username is valid so we can make our API call. We don't want to allow for any calls if username is not valid. Okay, and now let's create a value for errors. Let's set it to null at the beginning. And inside ng-init, we will subscribe to the error message by a login service, to the error subject, sorry. And if there will be any error message, it will update us and we can assign it to this error. Cool. Let's go to login HTML and let's find our button to assign the onSubmit function to this button. So we'll use click for this. Cool. And now let's find notification and we are going to add ng-if here. So if we have an error, if it's not a null, then notification will be shown. And in other cases it won't. And also let's change it here. Okay. Oh, there's one more thing. We need to go to our app module TS file and we need to import HTTP client module here. So let's do it. Let's import it from Angular common HTTP and let's add it just on the bottom into ng module. Let's go to check our page. So the error message works, and if it's correct, yeah, we can see the dashboard. There is one more thing we would like to do, and it is creating an auth guard. So let's go to the console and let's create the guard. We will use it to prevent not logged users to access dashboard. For now, dashboard. Later we can use it to different pages as well. Okay, so let's open our newly created file and let's import here login service because we are going to use it in a second. And let's switch to login service because we need to create another function there. Okay, here, yeah. So on the bottom, let's create is authenticated function. It will return Boolean. So if our session storage has a JVT, then we will return true. And in other case, we will return false. Okay, let's save. Let's go back to our auth guard. And let's add here a constructor to add our login service which we want to use. Great. And now let's remove this can activate function and we'll create ours. So yeah, it will return Boolean, and if login is authenticated, if it's not true, then we will return false because we can't activate it then. It's a little bit opposite. And otherwise, we can return true because we can activate the road there. Now let's generate one more component. We will just start this component today, so no worries, it won't be much longer. Let's generate a dashboard component. Let's go to that component and let's paste some HTML. I like a ready one. Also, let's go to a CSS file and let's add just a piece of custom styles. And there's one more thing we have to do. So we need to add a road to our dashboard. So let's go back and let's do it. Yeah, we need to import it, and here we will pass our guard. Okay, so now let's check. We can log in, it redirects us, and when we are trying to go from not logged in user, then we can't go to the dashboard. So everything works pretty clear. Once again, if you would like to build a backend like we are doing right now, and join our Golang course, you will find the link in the description. Also, if you missed some code or you would like to check something, then just check out our GitHub. Also, link for this lesson you will have in the description. You will have also a link to lesson 1. So check it out, get the code if you need, and remember to subscribe for the next lessons. Thanks for watching! Great! So lesson 2 is completed. If you had any issues with the code, you can check out our GitHub repository. I will put you the link in the description. And if you would like to build backend, there will be another course and another video with backend for this lesson, and if it will be ready, I will put you the link in the description, so you can check it out. If you like the video, remember to give us thumbs up and leave a comment about what else would you like to build. And to not forget about the next lessons, remember to subscribe our channel with the red button down there. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!